not a scheduled guest, but happy to have him on here with us. Austin Petersen calling in the show. Austin, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Annie, thanks for taking my call.
You got some opinions on stuff we've been talking about?
Yeah, well, thanks for bringing me up earlier. But, the Attorney General, because he's not been showing up to any of these events around the state, and I have, I go and I speak to the rural areas and these conservative voters, and they're ticked off that he threw the governor under the bus as soon as it became politically expedient for him to do so. And frankly, I got to give some big-time ups and credit to Roy Blunt, because when Roy Blunt was asked the same question, he came out and said, hey, there's a legislative and a legal process for this, and we ought to trust the process and let it play out. I think a lot of these politicians are just doing what they can to try and protect themselves, and they're throwing a Republican under the bus. Just think, the Democrats locked arms to protect Bill Clinton, and now if the Republicans allow the Democrats to use this playbook against us, and they scatter us to the four winds, well, Claire's loving that. So we got to at least show a little bit of solidarity and respect due process. It's amazing that he's a constitutional lawyer, but again, you know what? So was Barack Obama. I guess it doesn't mean much anymore, Annie.
So what is your opinion right now on this, what's taking place in Missouri, this special session that's going to happen, and the position that the governor is currently in? Can you weigh in on that?
Well, there's a lot of shady dealings, right? This is some House of Cards style stuff, absolutely. And I think there's more than meets the eye, especially when you saw the $100,000 payment that came in the other day. So, the governor's going to have his supporters and he's going to have his detractors. I mean, no matter what happens to the governor, at the end of the day, if we defend due process, we lose nothing. I mean, Roy Blunt has made the best political calculation of all, because when you trust in the Constitution and you say, hey, I'm defending the Constitution, this is about more than one man. Because again, the governor's going to get tried in two courts. One, the court of public opinion, which all men are now guilty until proven innocent. And then there's an actual court, which he may be innocent for. And why is it that we always want to go and seek to destroy these people before they've had their day in court? We've not seen a single bit of evidence that the governor has committed these kinds of crimes yet. So until we see evidence, if he gets exonerated, well, then what have we done? We've destroyed a good man. If he has, then everybody knows that he should step down. So I'm going to let the process play out. And again, Josh needs to get out there and he needs to be a part of this primary. You don't get a promotion after you've done a job for 4 or 5 months. You need to get out and tell people what it is that you believe. Well, the only things we've seen him come out in favor of is gun control, banning firearms accessories, the executive order, so he's to the left of the Obama administration, and he's for warrantless surveillance of American people, which is, the same way Claire would have voted. So let's not replace one bad lawyer with another.
Yeah, I interviewed you for my Saturday show a long time ago, and you've been having a very consistent message since the start of this campaign. I read this tweet just before, but it's from D. Standish at D. Standish 2. Hawley is an establishment rhino. There's not a big enough difference between he and Claire. What kind of difference does exist between Hawley and Claire?
What's driving me nuts is that we can't even get him to make a statement when it came to the spending bill, the $1.3 trillion omnibus. That's our money. And if Mitch McConnell is the guy that's backing him, well, you take the king's coin, you're going to have to sing the king's song. He goes in there next year, and he's voting for surveillance. He's voting to take our guns. He's voting to increase government spending. What are we doing in Missouri? This is a conservative state. If you want somebody that's going to go in there and be a Rand Paul, a Ted Cruz, a Mike Lee, Austin Petersen is your guy. And here's the deal, Annie. There's a lot of people running in this race, but if the grassroots all get behind one candidate, and mind you, I'm the only one in the black, debt-free, actually born, raised, and educated here in Missouri, who's got a chance to beat Josh and Claire, because I can get all the Republicans, I can get all the Libertarians, I can get a lot of independents, and even a few sane Democrats left over. That's the formula to beat Claire. We don't want to give somebody a promotion who can't keep their promises to the people of Missouri. If you like your Attorney General, you can keep him.
Austin, thank you so much for your respect for this 97.1 audience at AP for Liberty. Not a scheduled interview, but a welcomed one. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks.
I mean, who writes his stuff? It's good. It's very good. We've got